Alright guys, this episode is going to be filmed from me driving my fucking car. And the reason for that is because I didn't do a good job of prioritizing or managing my time for the day. I didn't work today. I didn't have any really obligation other than getting all my shit done for the day, and yet I still struggled to get it done. And so a little bit frustrated, you could say, about getting everything done and getting to bed at a reasonable time, but I can only blame myself because I had all fucking day to do so many different things for phase one of Live Hard and to get all my shit done. Yet I twiddled my thumbs, did a little bit of dicking off, and I didn't get the shit done in time. And now I'm going to have another late night, and I'm going to have to go to bed a little bit later than what I anticipated. And then the whole domino effect of not getting a good enough rest for the next day happens, and then the next day is a little bit tougher, and then so on and so forth. And I guess you could call this the venting episode, because goddamn, dude, I can only blame myself. But holy fuck, is it so stressful and so frustrating having to balance these, I don't even want to say balance, but having to juggle all the shit that I have to do for the day, that I have to get done and that I will get done because I made the commitment to get that fucking shit done. Having to juggle that with having to go and to a family event or see people or get some things that aren't necessarily important done on the list for the day, whatever that may be. For example, today that was me cleaning out my ice bath, filling up with new water, going to the store and buying 12 bags of ice, so that way the compressor, my freezer, doesn't have to work its ass off for an hour or something, because that shit gets flaming hot when it heats up that whole cooler, the whole ice bath. So juggling all that shit combined with me being a lazy fuck this morning and sleeping in, it doesn't go over well, because now it's affecting me being with my family in the event that I was at, and I had to leave a little bit early and get to spend as much time with him as I wanted to. And even when I was there, my mind was way far away from the present moment. I was just focused on trying to figure out how the fuck I'm going to get the rest of my day done. I have to record this show right here, and that's why I'm doing it now, because I am so fucking stressed out with the shit that I got to do. So I have to record this show. So here's the thing. I got to go to bed in 40 minutes, and what I have left for the day is record this show here. And I have all these plans and shit, these ideas that I want to put into action and record quality fucking shows, and they're not happening because I'm not managing my time well. That's the next step for me, is just getting to that next level of discipline, because I feel fucking great now when I got that routine and structure going, when I am forced to get out of bed to go to work, because the consequence of me not getting up and going to work is me getting fired, right? And I don't want to get fired, but for some fucking reason, when it's all up to me and I don't have that consequence of getting fired for my life here, I just don't execute the way that I need to be executing. I woke up today at 7:30, and I thought that was pretty early. I woke up, kind of hung out there, and my first thought was, wow, I don't got to do shit today up until 4 o'clock when I have this family event. And then I have 3 hours, I can spend 3 hours there. And then I come home and go to bed. It'll be awesome. I'll just get my shit done. And I didn't execute the way that I should have, because here I am, got to go to bed in 40 minutes, and I still have to record the show. I still have to write some pages. I need to, I believe, stretch still, so that's 20 minutes plus the show here. We got another 20-30 minutes, for maybe 40, depends on how long this one goes for. We got to type some pages up, which is seemingly about 20 minutes at least, up to 40, depending on how focused and how much of a flow state I'm in. And then I need to take a cold plunge still, got to do my outdoor workout, got to take a cold shower still, and I got to eat about 1,000 more calories. And if I want to go to bed at a reasonable time, that would be, or if I want to go to bed on time, that's in 40 minutes. And so, am I bitching right now? You could call it bitching. Am I complaining? You can call it complaining. But I have no one to blame but myself. I'm the reason I'm in this situation, right? I'm taking ownership of that shit. So, if anybody's like, oh, he's bitching about, I got plenty of time today, didn't use it well. I had a whole day of not doing shit, and I didn't use it well at all. And so that's that next level of discipline that I need to reach and to step up to and start, I guess, just start executing on that level, because that is what's required for me to level up, I think. And obviously, there's a lot of growth that comes with that because it's my only day off during the week on Sundays, and it's about to not be because I'm starting peak season with FedEx. So I'm going to have Christmas, Thanksgiving, and the next Sunday off because today's November 5th. So that means I have 5 days off for the rest of the fucking year. And some people get 3 days off a week. Some people get 2, whatever. Some people only have 1, but I got 3 for the remainder of the entire year. And I take pride in that because I work hard and I enjoy it. I look forward to getting that shit done. But because I'm not utilizing my time well enough right now and managing my time and prioritizing what needs to get done and executing on it when I know what needs to get done, I'm now in this predicament where I'm fucking frustrated because just my own choices here. And so that is one of the reasons why I'm recording the show here in my car as I'm driving, because I'm just so fucking stressed out. And dude, here's the other thing. It's so much more frustrating for me, at least, if anybody else is going through the journey here of trying to be great and do shit in life and you're trying to juggle everything all at once. Let me know if you can relate to this, because for me, dude, it is one of the most exhausting things trying to explain or whatever to others why you're doing the things that you're doing, because they don't have that big vision that you do. They don't have the big dreams that you do. Otherwise, you'd be doing the shit that you're doing. And so I'm sitting there at this family event. I'm zoning out half the time, and that's my bad. I need to be there. I need to be present, and that's a whole other thing I got to focus on. But right now, I'm dealing with what I got right now, doing what I can with what I have. And so it is so exhausting trying to appease other people by giving some sort of response that will just get them off your fucking ass. And what I mean is, somebody will say, hey, you all right? You here? You zoning out? What are you thinking about? It's like, hey, dude, shut the fuck up. Mind your own business. I'm all right. If I wanted to talk about it, I'd probably be talking about it. But I don't want to talk about it because that's why I'm being quiet. So, hey, listen, I'm all right. Trust me on that. Don't ask me again. I'm fine. That's how I feel. And that's something that I got to work on for myself, right? And yes, this is the fucking venting episode. This is how I'm feeling with everything. And if anybody, okay, now I'm stuttering. Great, bro. And if anybody can relate or has any kind of insight or whatever that they can share with me based on whatever you're going through, that would be fucking awesome. We got to unite in times like this, dude. It's so frustrating. So, and I'm at this family event, and it's really difficult to try to explain this to my family. And if any of my family is listening to this right now, I love all of you the same. I love all you guys have played such important roles in my life, and I thank you for that. But sometimes there's just certain things I can't say because it would just fly right the fuck over your head, and there wouldn't be that connection of or I guess acceptance of why I'm doing the things I've got to do. How do I leave this family event and be like, hey, actually I got to stretch for 20 minutes. I still have to record a podcast that I can't tell anybody about, so I can't say anything about that. So I have to say, hey, I'm doing this thing. I can't say a fucking word about it. So you got to trust me, though. It's important. And then I got to do another thing I can't say a word about, but trust me, it's important, which is the writing, and the podcast. And also I got to go for a walk outside with my weighted vest on, and it's 40 degrees outside. I have, I need to do that. So, and then also I have to take an ice bath right before bed, which isn't the most ideal thing. And then I got to also take a cold shower. So I got to do all this shit, and I might even have to read. Can't remember. So I got to do all this shit, and I got to go to bed in 40 minutes. So you understand why I'm frustrated? It's exhausting having to hold that back, because for a fact that the people you're trying to communicate that to aren't going to fucking get it. They're not going to understand. And they might even think you're being an asshole about it because you're thinking that you're so important. You got to get your shit done and whatever else. And that ice bath is more important than this family gathering time, And no, it's not more important. But I made the commitment, and I'm following through with my word. If I don't keep my word, how the fuck is anybody else going to expect me to? Dude, it is so frustrating. And I guess that's why you got to surround yourself with people who fucking get it, right? This is what I was writing about today. Spoiler alert, I guess. But birds of a feather flock together. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. I'm trying to think of another one. If you hang out with 5 millionaires, you're gonna be the 6th one. If you hang out with 5 idiots, you're gonna be the 6th one. Whatever. The Denzel Washington, right? And I don't got anybody in my life like that, man. I'm solo dolo right now. And no, I'm not complaining about it, but damn, it would be fucking cool to have people around me that understood the type of mentality that I have for wanting to attain all this great shit. But it is so hard when you have certain people in your life that just don't understand and don't want to understand and put on that facade of just trying to appeal to you by doing certain things. I don't know how to explain it. There's certain people in my life when I say, hey, I'm working really hard because I want to have this big house. These people will say, well, why do you want a big house? What do you need all that space for? What's wrong with a small one like we've got, you know? There's not a fucking thing wrong with the small one that you people have. There's nothing wrong with it. I just want more in life. I desire better, more, bigger, whatever, for me and my future family. My wife, my kids, I'm going to provide the best of the best for them to the best of my ability. And I'm going to give them as great and as just the best that I possibly can give. And I know for a fact that me settling for this mediocre bullshit, settling for this, settling for that, is not what my future family deserves. My kids deserve to have a dad that works his fucking ass off and proves to them that they can do hard shit. A good example, a good father, a good role model, a good leader of the house. You know, my wife deserves a man that's going to work his fucking ass off, get shit done, keep promises to himself and her and the kids and the family, and go to work every day, come home to make sure that they have food on the table, they have a place to sleep, they're safe, taken care of, looked after, all that shit, bro. And yeah, I understand the balance, I guess, of me going to these things and having that completely off my head and focusing on the thing that I'm doing and being present. But I'm not going to be able to do all that shit if I'm not doing if I'm not doing the things that I need to do to move myself forward and get my life closer to where I know that I can be, you know? And again, that's my fault today. I fucked up, didn't manage my time well. And that's my bad, right? I already said that. But what I'm saying is trying to explain that to people who don't have any idea or want to understand, it doesn't sit well with other people. And other people could be family, friends, loved ones, whatever. And that's why it's so frustrating, I guess, having bigger aspirations in life. Because if I were to sit there and say, hey, I actually don't think retirement is a good idea for me. I'm going to be a multimillionaire by the time I'm 40. And so I don't really want to save money right now because I think it's kind of pointless. I should use that money now to invest and blah, blah, blah. Now, that would not go over well with my current family. I think I would get a lot of weird look. And I love my family to death. If anybody here is listening to this show, it's in my family. I love you guys to death. We have different mentalities and it's clear. And it is what the fuck it is, okay? And that's just, if you listen to episode 15, Balance and Massive Ambition, like Andy Frisella says, dude, the dynamic of friendships and relationships naturally changes when you start doing shit. And I haven't even started really doing shit. I just have so much ambition and great aspiration for my life that me even mentioning that I want to own a Lamborghini would come off as arrogant or bragging to other people. And it's just so interesting to me that comes off that way. It's me saying, hey, I have this big goal in life. I want to achieve this big goal. Do you want to support me in achieving this big goal? And if people, I guess my voice is going to crack while I'm in the heat of the moment, bro. And people will say they support you and they're rooting for you, but the moment you turn around, they're going to start talking shit. Oh, he thinks he's going to own a Lamborghini. Does he think he's better than us, bro? I do fucking think I'm better than a lot of people, dude. I think my mentality and everything that I got going for me is so much. Dude, I want to do big shit in life. Let me rephrase that before I get hate. I don't think I'm better than anybody else. I think I have bigger aspirations, and that makes me appear like I think I'm better than everybody else. I think I want more in life. I think I'm more disciplined, and I want to achieve more, and I want to do more hard shit to achieve those big, hard things in my life. So therefore, me, I guess when I'm saying that I think I'm better than everybody else, I think my mentality, my vision is more clearer than theirs. What I desire in my life is more precise and specific than what they want. They want to go home after a long day of work and sit on the couch and socialize with their family and watch Netflix. And there's not a fucking thing wrong with that, but that's not what I want. I want bigger and more, and dude, I don't have to justify what the fuck I want. It's what I want. And if you don't want it, that's fine. You go get what you're going to get. But I want what I want, and I need to find those people that understand and want the same thing. And again, just understand what the fuck I'm going for here. It just sucks being surrounded by people who don't have any kind of similar vision that I do. And there's nothing wrong with having a different vision than me. Everybody has different priorities and shit in life, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that you're a piece of shit if you don't want big things in life. What I'm saying is I have these big goals, and it's hard to associate with people and talk about your big goals with those people because they see it as something completely different. They see it maybe as bragging or being arrogant, or you think you're too good for us, or whatever the case may be. And it's none of those things. I just want a better future for myself. I want to achieve the things that I've set out for. I want to make my dreams become a reality. I shouldn't be ashamed of sharing that shit with people, and I shouldn't shy away from that, because if somebody's not going to understand what I'm saying, that's on them. It's not my problem that they don't see things the way. And vice versa. If they're talking about going home and watching Netflix and ordering takeout, I'm not going to say, oh, that's bull, you're wasting you're being lazy, that's fuck. I'm not going to say that, because that's what they want. Also, that's fucking rude, right? Why doesn't it apply the same way, dude? That's so funny, dude. Oh, so that is the little rant right there. I needed to get that off my chest because it just weighs on me, dude. And if anybody can relate, if anybody has anything to share with that, and I really mean that. If you've got something going on, you got the big goals and the big aspirations, but you don't feel understood from people around you, then reach out to me and let me know. Send me a DM or something. And literally nobody's listening to this because it's episode 17, still in sub 100 club. But by the time I get to 100, hopefully somebody clicks on this, listens to it all the way through, and we are able to have a discussion or something about experiences that you've had in your life, because I would love to hear about them and how you went about handling them. You can listen to Andy Frisella and Joe Rogan and David Goggins, everybody up there, with in the big leagues, and they share stories like this all the time about having these big goals and things like that. But I guess I'm going through it for myself, and I'm trying to navigate through all that and figure out the best way that I know how to make things work and do what I can with what I have where I am. So it's just frustrating sometimes. It's really exhausting because I want to do all these great big things. There's certain things, for example, and hopefully by the time this is out and heard by the people I need it to be heard by, it happens. But one of my biggest goals in life right now is to get my grandpa and me tickets to a Lakers game, or a Laker Jazz game, or a Lakers Celtics game. I live in Utah. He's been a Jazz fan his whole life, up until recently. Now he switched to the Celtics bandwagon. It is what it is. But now we have that rivalry, right? Because he's a Celtic fan, I'm a Laker fan. If you don't know anything about the two, the biggest sports rival, or biggest NBA rival in history, Celtics-Lakers, is always that. They both have 17 championships at the time of recording. So whoever wins that next one is going to have the most in NBA history. So I would love more than anything to be able to have him and I experience floor seats to his team and my team for a night. And if you know anything about NBA games, floor seats are not cheap. I'm not talking lower bowl, I'm talking floor. I'm talking courtside. And so in order for me to afford that, I'm going to need to start making some fucking moves in my life to get the money, to get everything I got to get going to be able to afford that for us. And also, if you haven't put two and two together here, we're in Utah. Laker Stadium is 1,000 miles away that way. Boston Stadium is 1,000 miles away that way. And so we're going to have to pay for a flight, and then maybe a hotel, and then a rental car, and then we're going to go to the event, and then we got to, whatever we got to do. We could even drive there. Who gives a fuck? Doesn't matter. It's going to cost a lot of money, right? At least $20,000. Courtside tickets are no joke, especially if you're seeing the Lakers play. So that was going through my head, because I was at this family event, and a lot of attention was going around the room, whatever, and all that I could help think about was I ain't getting closer to any of the goals that I have for my family and doing the things that I want with my grandpa right now by sitting here and socializing. And yeah, I love you guys, and I want to be around my family and hear about what they got going on, but truth be told, there's a lot of shit that I don't give a fuck about, and when people are talking to me about this or that, it's really hard for me to keep that focus, because in my mind, and again, this is my problem that I have to work on, but in my mind, they're telling me about this level 1 base shit, what they did at work, or what kind of hobbies they're into, and that's great, dude. I'm all for listening and hearing you out, but it's so hard for me to maintain that focus and give genuine care when I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about how I'm going to make my next move and how I can get more disciplined to do this and how I can get this done for the day and execute on this or whatever the case may be, it's my problem and I have to work on it. I realize that's a major flaw in my character right now. It's hard for me to give a fuck about what other people are doing, and I guess that's a pro rather than a con in some context, but it's hard for me to give a fuck about what other people are doing when my mind is just loud as fuck with what I got going on. And I mean that in such a respectful way, believe it or not. I am appreciative when people share what they got going on with me, but it's hard for me to try to interact with that and maintain a dialogue, you know. So if anybody from the family's listening, I love you guys. I'm just stressed the fuck out because I got so many things I want to do in life, and sitting around bullshitting is not getting me anywhere closer to those goals. Time's ticking for a lot of people in the family, and I want to achieve these things before time runs out, and that's all it is. And I just love my family a lot, and I guess by me saying that I want to peace out and not be with them right now, to then have the fun times later, I don't know. That's what I'm after. And to anyone who's maybe thinking, oh well, you got to have a good time now because those later times aren't guaranteed. Something might happen tomorrow. That's so fucking true, dude. But I don't want to believe, or I don't want to not believe. I don't want to choose to subscribe to that mentality of, oh well, we all might get in a plane crash tomorrow, so what's the point, dude? I'm trying to fucking execute and get shit done now, so that when those times later come, I can use what I've earned and been worked so hard for, and give them something that they've never had in their entire life. And if by chance we all get in a plane crash and we all die, then what the fuck's it matter for anyway, you know? Even more reason to work harder so that doesn't happen for my future family, my kids, my grandkids, my great-grandkids, whatever it is, dude. Oh, man. So, yeah, just anybody's listening, know that I'm going through some shit right now, and you're not alone going through the shit. I don't want to post this. I feel like I'm being really mean. I said a lot of, I guess, mean things, you could say. I don't feel like I said mean things. I feel like I said a lot of truth here, and people are going to take that up the ass. And it is what it is. Might cause hurt feelings later on, but dude, it is what the fuck it is. I want to achieve a massive level of success for my life. That's it. And I ain't doing that sitting around twiddling my thumbs, bullshitting around. I'd rather be twiddling my thumbs, bullshitting around at a Lakers Celtic game with my grandpa, because he worked his ass off for his family, and I want to work my ass off for my family and get him to things that he's never been to, and take my family on trips, buy my family cars, get them out of debt, pay for trips to go here, buy them awesome gifts for whatever, help them out in times when you do Secret Santa shit for, give them money and whatever it is. Be able to take them to things or give them experiences that they wouldn't have otherwise been able to attain because of the life path that they chose. And there's nothing wrong with the life path that they chose, but there's not a lot of money involved in that life path. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the life path that I'm going for, it's got a lot of money involved. And I want to be able to use that money to give them experiences that they've never been able to have in their life if they wouldn't have chosen the life path that they have now. And that means trips, vacation to Disney World with the whole family, paying off everybody's debt in my whole family, or buying them new homes, or whatever the case may be. And those are monstrous goals, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. I want to be able to go through, if it takes $1 million, whatever, which would be ridiculous if it did, pay off everybody's debt, so everybody owes $0 to 0 people. There's nothing involved whatsoever for them and owing anything. They got a clean slate. They got their bills taken care of. The only thing they got to worry about is going to work, getting some money for the food they put on the table, and having a good time with their friends or whatever. That's what I want. That if I could work hard to achieve that for my family, to give them a life that they wouldn't have otherwise been able to have, that's it for me. That would be so fucking sick. My family does this thing, and I've been dreaming about this for so long. My family does this thing on Christmas where we get little tiny socks, and there's probably about 20 of us, I don't know, off the top of my head, about 15 adults, and we get these little socks, and everybody buys a thing from the dollar store, or just a small little thing. You buy 15 of them, and you put the same one in every sock, and then everybody gets a sock at the end of, or I guess during Christmas, and so you open it, you might have a little I don't know, a gumball. You might have literally a penny, depending on who the smart ass is. You might have a pen. You might have a little cheap ass laser. You might have a candy bar. Just small shit. It's fun. Everybody brings something that's $1, whatever the case may be. I realize that I say whatever the case may be a lot. What the fuck's wrong with me? And so my dream is to be able to slip in there a check for, we'll say $1,000, $10,000, whatever, and in the big goal aspiration, $100,000. Everybody gets a check for $100,000, we'll say. And I guess if I'm at that level, they might understand where that money came from. But how incredible of a feeling and a memory and a moment in time for our family would it be if everybody opened up their sock, they got the gumdrop, they got the penny, they got the pen, they got the silly putty, the candy bar, and then they got this piece of paper, said, hey, I love you, here's $100,000. That would be such an incredible moment, I think, for my family. And it's not about the money in the sense that I'm buying their love or that I'm gifting them this big amount of money. It's more for me the fact that I have been able to work so hard in my life to attain this big payment that I can now give it to them, and they can use it however they want. If they want to buy a Lamborghini or a new truck or whatever the fuck it is, or if they want to pay off all their bills, or they want to do a lot of home renovating, or if they want to go back to school, if I can provide them that opportunity, the opportunity to choose or to have the option, the abundance of options to them, that would be worth it a million times over for me. If I could just give everybody 100 options to choose from, whether they want to, like I just said, whether they want to invest it, whether they want to, they could give it all away, they could donate it, whatever. If I could just give them that opportunity, that itself would be enough for me. So that's one of my dreams, and I'm not doing that sitting around bullshitting. So, and yeah, there's time, and there's time for bullshit, and you should always want to have a good time with your friends and family. You should always seek to develop those bonds and relationships with your friends and family. But dude, if it's not bringing you joy and it's making you stressed out and not making you happy, I guess that's the main takeaway right there. If it doesn't bring you joy and happiness, what the fuck are you doing it for? To appease everybody else? I think that's a bad reason to do things. You're only going to these things and doing things with these people and associating with those people because you don't want them to think that you're this way, and you don't want them to be offended because you're staying away or whatever. Dude, sometimes you gotta stay the fuck away and get your shit done. Sometimes that's what it takes, and I'm 26 years old. I have nothing to show for my massive ambition right now, other than I have competed in a physique bodybuilding show. I won first place in teens, second place in natural. I was last place. Third place tied for the novice physique. Fourth place for true novice or whatever it was. Second place for true novice. And then sixth in the open. That mattered, which sucks. I wish I would have got one higher, but it is what it is. Competed when I was. Other than that, and me completing 75 hard, and then recently starting phase 1 and about to complete it here in, I don't know what it is, 16 days. And then I guess starting this podcast, well, I guess I got some shit going, huh? Other than all that stuff right there, I have nothing to show for my massive ambition. And I guess what I'm trying to get to is that level where I have a business that brings in X amount of revenue. I can use that money to pay my employees, or use this for profits, or use that to donate to this, or to do a Secret Santa for these people, or to donate here, or to whatever. Dude, give me $1 million and I'll give away at least half of it immediately. I won't even think about it, just to help people out. The rest, dude, I'm buying a Lamborghini. It's a fucking massive goal for me. Yeah, I know it's a depreciating asset. I know oil changes are millions and trillions and quadrillions of dollars. And I know new tires are this or that. But this is my goal, bro. If that's not your goal, then don't worry about it. That's my goal. I want a Lamborghini. So I'm going to get one, and I promise. Today is November 5th. It's 7:18. We just had daylight savings. 7:18 p.m. November 5th. And this is the rant, the venting episode, okay? So, friends or family, if you're listening to this, I love you guys. I mean no harm by this. I'm just speaking my truth and doing it in the way that I know how to right now. If you got offended, then you're going to have to be offended. It is what the fuck it is. I want to be great in life, and I want to achieve the highest level of potential that I can. because I'm on the right path, dude. I'm figuring shit out for myself, and I'm connecting the dots with myself, by myself, and I'll go and listen to another podcast, and in that podcast, they'll say something that I've already discovered for myself. And that is so empowering to know that I am figuring the shit out for myself that other people are experiencing, or that they did experience. People like Andy Frisella, he talks about balancing, talks about when other people try to put their priorities onto you. And you got to have the self-awareness to know that they're doing that, rather than get butthurt that they're saying that you shouldn't do this with your business, or you shouldn't do that with blah, blah, blah. You shouldn't wake up at 2:30 and go for, you should live a little. You should relax. Having the self-awareness to facilitate and filter out what they're saying, and you just having the wherewithal, I guess is the word people fucking say now, to just decipher between what you want to intake and what you want to outtake in your brain. It's so powerful. And so for me, being able to connect the dots by myself before I even heard other people talk about it, and then to hear people like Andy talk about it, it's so validating to know that I'm doing shit that they did, and I'm feeling the same exact way about... There's a fucking guy on his porch staring directly at my car, dude. Whatever. It's just very empowering to know that I am doing shit, and then hearing the other people who are decades ahead of me, that they went through the same thing and had the same thoughts and the same mentality, you know. So it's very empowering, and that's honestly what's keeping me going right now. So by them sharing their struggles and their story, it's helping me with my struggles and my story. And so hopefully by the time this is out there and people start listening to it, they can understand and know that, hey, I felt the same way. I went through the same shit, similar shit, and I came out on top, because that's always when I'm doing this podcast, to document everything, the journey, my struggles, my perspective. It's the bq.POV daily show. Daily's not even in the name, but the bq.POV podcast show, whatever. So the first 100 episodes are for me, for getting my voice out there, for getting comfortable with sharing my opinions and putting episodes specifically like this out there, knowing that it might ruffle some feathers and it might cause some stirring of the pot, if you will. But knowing that I'm speaking my truth and putting it out there, and not giving a fuck what others might have to say or think about what I'm doing. Because I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm putting it out there to hopefully inspire someone to keep going. It's also to serve as a reminder to myself that because I just started, I didn't contemplate and I didn't try to analyze and then get paralyzed as a result, that I just fucking started and I followed through with it, that I am where I am today, and that might be today, and that might be 10 years from now. Who knows how many podcast episodes we'll have by then. But Sub 100 Club, first 100 are for me. After that, we'll change up the dynamic, and I'll start pushing out a schedule and more quality shit. I'll get guests involved. We'll do all sorts of shit. And we won't focus on that until we get to about episode 95, we'll say. I don't know. Right now I'm focusing on episode 17, which is this one. And now that I guess I'm at 33 minutes, I'm going to end the episode. I'm going to go inside, get my vest on. I might actually just go for a run, because I need to let off this fucking steam that I got going on. And I got to come home and take an ice bath. And then I got to take a cold shower. And I got to stretch. And then I got to still write. And then I got to eat almost 2,000 more calories. Dude, it's fucking awesome. Love that. So that's what I got to do. I'm going to go inside and get that shit done. Guys, if you're listening, and this is the Sub 100 Club, if you haven't listened to all 100, you're now in the Sub 100 Club by listening to the... Hold on, what the fuck did I just say? You got to listen to all 100 of the episodes under Sub 100 Club, and you can use the hashtag Sub 100. So that's the pointless and meaningless hashtag that I am granting to you once you listen to the first 100 episodes. So, guys, that's the show. It was a venting session. You might think there's a lot of negativity in here, but I'm just venting and getting my truths out there. My frustration today is caused by my lack of action and my lack of proper execution with the time that I had. And there's nobody else to blame but myself. So, with that being said, take ownership of your shit. Take full responsibility of your life, your actions, and everything is your fault. Life happens for you, not to. Life happens to you, not... What the fuck? Life happens for you, not to you. Whatever the guy with the voice said. So, that's so disrespectful. What's his name? Tony Robbins, right? Life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. Something like that. So yeah, you can take what life gives us and we can complain and bitch about it and throw it away. Or we can take the punches as they come, dodge them, get back up, throw a right hooker, dude, and hit a home run and keep going. So with that being said, that's the show, guys. Thank you so much for listening. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about what the fuck happened today in today's episode, just shoot me a DM. If you have anything that you want to share with me, and because you can relate, let me know. And yeah, share the fuck out of this with other people if you found value in it. If you didn't find value, don't share it. That's kind of silly. And with that being said, that's the show, guys. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow for episode 17.